Hello and welcome to Bad Psychics episode 44, 43, 45, 40 something. We're very much middle aged at this point. We're going to have a midlife crisis at some point in the near future, so be prepared for that in a couple episodes' time. I am Mal. I am, as you can see, not Z. Z, our lovely overlord, is currently feeling a bit under the weather, so I'll be taking over the reins for the review episode of this. Z's goals will still be here, so we can make fun of him, assuming he actually did as bad as we did. I don't know whether he did. Um, anyway, I'm still joined by the two ever presents of the podcast. Something Norfolk, something Star Wars. It's Michael.
Yeah, I mean, there's some styles behind me. The Norfolk flag's not behind me anymore. I have got it in front of me now. It used to be, it was very briefly back there behind me. But the Timu Puki, I can't tell what's on the screen. I can only see
Yeah,
what I've got on my camera. So Timu Puki's up there.
yeah,
That does something, I guess.
yeah.
It's probably some. I think it's a few Norwich bobbleheads. I've got it covered somewhere in the background, and I think you've pretty much nailed it for
Yeah,
me.
yeah, sure do. And something Somerset, something woman. I think that's what Z normally says. It's Eloise.
Yeah, I'm glad that even though it doesn't matter, we're already demonetized because you can't say Norfolk because because the AI, YouTube's AI thinks you're saying fuck.
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh
think.
no! Oh
Um,
no! All the money this video is going to make. Z's going to be so
I
mad.
know.
yeah,
Oh no, even if this channel was monetized, like I'm pretty sure if they were paying attention to this channel, for some of the cricket episodes would have got shut down. So I think we're fine whatever we say.
yeah. But I mean, I suppose some good news. We're already demonetized, so we can swear how much we like. Fuck, shit, fuck, cunt, uh,
Hi Z.
balls. Yes, hi Z. Moving away from the bad language, we are reviewing our AFCON predictions. We are a bit late on this. AFCON finished about early the middle of January, but their scheduling delays means we aren't doing this now. So, did any of you watch any AFCON? Eloise.
What's AFCON?
uh, I'll take it as a no, Michael.
Just watching the scores happen on BBC Sport count.
That's better than both of us, because I also did not watch any AFCON, and I vaguely paid attention to some things, but I know what happened in the final. That's something.
I mean, I vaguely kept you aware of like what like teams were in what stages,
Yes.
as well as my social media liked feeding me that one guy who was a fan of DR Congo who's just standing like a statue.
I completely missed this. Was it just some guy in the crowd?
I think he was mimicking a former president of DR Congo, and yeah, he would literally just be standing like on top of something in the crowd as a statue the entire game.
Base. Okay. I mean,
Yes, and then he was sad when they got knocked out. Spoilers.
they did. I presume he broke character from the statue and then became sad. Oh,
Yes.
poor guy. Never mind. Anyway, so yes, this is going to be a very thrilling, insightful episode of this podcast with the grand total of 0 hours watched. But wait, we've done worse. Anyway,
Yeah, we have.
let's move on to what he calls our spreadsheet in a hole. So, our predictions are up there somewhere. Let's start off with our group predictions. So, Group A, which was Morocco, Zambia, Mali, and Comoros. I believe that is correct. And then we're predicting the two that go through from this, the top two. We all went for Morocco and Mali, and Z went for Zambia.
Wow.
And the results were it was Morocco and Mali going through. Morocco went through pretty comfortably, and Mali they had a couple of dodgy results. They did draw Comoros, which kind of surprised me.
Three draws.
They Portugaled their way through is the technical term. They
Yeah,
literally
did.
drew
oh yeah,
every
they very
game.
much did. Yeah, yeah, they made it through unbeaten, just about. Um, with 3 points. And yeah, Comoros and Zambia for the bottom two positions. Neither of them made it through for third places. Spoilers. So sadly, sadly we didn't get to see Comoros make it through. Did this go to how you expect, Michael?
Uh, Not like kind of, but not entirely. Like obviously Morocco and Mali were the two big favourites to go through. Zambia, I think, underperformed a bit. I think you'd have expected a bit more out of them. There was a bit more. I think Comoros overperformed. Obviously, when you look at the final, who went through, it doesn't really paint the picture of that. But you'd have expected Mali to potentially be a bit more comfortable. Obviously, they got the draw with Morocco, which is good, but then couldn't beat Comoros. It was a last-minute equaliser for Zambia, got them the draw there. So not winning a game in the group stage is never a particularly good sign unless you're a jammy bunch of gits like Portugal. I will never be okay with that. I'm not ever going to be happy about Portugal winning. But yeah, it's Morocco, pretty comfortable going through as you'd have expected. Mali, you'd have expected a bit more out of. Comoros overperformed a bit, and Zambia, yeah, again, is one way you'd have expected them to put a bit more of a fight. Probably not finish bottom of the group, but there wasn't like it was only really the draw with Comoros that stands out as like the real bad result. It was just they happened to get beat by Morocco more than Comoros did, is why they were last. So yeah, it was like small margins of difference from what you'd expect, but in the end, it sort of came out as the expected teams going through.
Yep. Of course. So let's see how that reflects in our scores. So it was 2 points for each team who goes through in the group that you get right. So as you can see, me, Michael, and Eloise got 4 for predicting it completely correctly, and Z is stuck on 2. So Z's behind for the moment. Let's just say that. Moving on to Group B, which was, if I can get up, it was Egypt, Angola, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. I think Eloise was the only one of us to go different this time. She picked Egypt and South Africa. Me, and Michael picked Egypt and Angola. And Eloise was completely right. South Africa managed to make its way through pretty comfortably in the end over Angola and Zimbabwe. Seeing as you got it right, Eloise, were you expecting South Africa to make it through so comfortably?
Yeah, I very much expected it. It was very much in my head the two obvious options, which confused me when I saw everyone didn't go South Africa and went, was it Angola? Yeah, everyone went Angola. I didn't. Angola, they drew against Egypt in the end.
Yes.
They didn't win a single game. 2 draws, 1 loss. Egypt proceeded to lose against South Africa proceeded to lose against Egypt, but apart from that, pretty comfortable. Yeah, it's about what I predicted, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Fantastic. So moving on to our scores, as you can see, Eloise is the only one perfect so far. She has 4 again, and both of us have 2 for predicting Egypt to go through. Okay. On to Group C, which was Nigeria, Tunisia, Tanzania, and Uganda. We all predicted Nigeria and Tunisia to go through, which happened, thank God, because we all would have not got any points otherwise. Nigeria won all their games, I guess unsurprisingly. Tunisia did, I think, draw with Tanzania in the final game, but I don't think that mattered too much as Uganda weren't gonna make it through. The only way they would have gone out if it was this Tanzania was beat them, which I didn't seem to be in particular doubt. So I'll come to Michael on this one. Any particular points of interest from Group C?
Oh, I mean, it was obviously the Nigeria just sort of walked their way through a bit in the end. It was, like I was saying it beforehand, Nigeria kind of needed to do well here, and by battering through the group, that's kind of the start they had to get. Tunisia, obviously, drawing that final game, like I said, didn't really matter for them. It did for Tanzania in the end, as we'll get to getting that equaliser. But yeah, it was one where Tunisia are one of those teams that are very good at, they've got a solid, usually a more solid defensive team. It feels like one where they're good at not getting beat better than they are going out and battering teams. So them potentially slipping up against a team like Tanzania isn't an enormous shock, but by AFCON standards, enormous shock is, mostly gone out of the window at this point. To get a proper shock in AFCON, it's like someone didn't even qualify, somehow wins the whole thing, or someone not even from Africa wins the whole thing. Like, that's the level you need to be a shock in AFCON at this point. But yeah, it's one of those ones where it's about what you expected, really. Maybe you'd have expected Tunisia to be a little more comfortable, but when it came down to it, and the order of fixtures, they got the job done, really. Like, winning a game in the group stage basically got you through, so they'd done enough.
Yep, sure. So as we all got that one right, everyone gets a lovely 4 points for that one. Moving on to Group D, which was Senegal, Benin, Dr. Congo, and Botswana. This was a split with Z in this one. Z predicted Benin to go through, whereas we all here predicted Dr. Congo and Senegal to go through, albeit with varying orders that didn't matter in the end. And all three of us were correct. Senegal and Dr. Congo went through, both of which on 7 points. Benin also made it through, but in third place, getting the win against Botswana. Managed to get them through. Eloise, Dr. Congo, your favourite team. Any any thoughts on their performance in AFCON?
Well, in the group, they were indeed pretty much what you'd expect. Like, this group felt like one of the closer ones. Like Benin could have on their day, and then I didn't really know much about what you'd expect from Botswana, and it seemed like not much. But yeah, Senegal, Dr. Congo, you always were gonna have to back them, which is why I think I was surprised when Z didn't. But yeah, it's pretty. Both of them having 2 wins and then a draw is pretty fair, considering.
Makes sense. So on to the scores for that one. Z once again getting 2, whereas we all get the full fat 4 points. On to Group E, which was Algeria, Equatorial Guinea, Burkina Faso, and Sudan. Now we we were split down the middle here. Eloise and Michael went for Burkina Faso to go through, as well as Algeria. Me and Z went for Equatorial Guinea and Algeria to go through. Eloise and Michael were completely correct. Me and Z could not have got the second place more wrong, as Equatorial Guinea finished last with no wins and managed to get beat by Sudan, who went through in third place. I guess I'll take this one. I was kind of surprised. I don't know. I think when I said in the podcast it was a toss-up between Equatorial Guinea and Burkina Faso, because I kind of vaguely recognise some of the Equatorial Guinea players. And I just didn't expect Sudan to do anything, even though they have a relatively strong African league. But it kind of shows my somewhat ignorance of domestic African football on that front, really. And yeah, Burkina Faso able to make it through comfortably enough in the end, in second place. So going to the scores for that one. If I actually get the sheet correctly done, there we go. Going to the scores for that one. Me and Z get 2 points, and Eloise and Michael get the lovely 4. So our final group, Group F, it was Ivory Coast, Cameroon, Gabon, and Mozambique. So this was probably, I'd say, the most mixed of the groups, but we kind of also split down the middle again. Eloise and Michael going for Gabon, me and Z going for Cameroon, and everyone going for Ivory Coast. Well, me and Z were right at this time, with Cameroon and Ivory Coast going through both on 7 points, and Gabon finishing last in their group with 0 points. Michael, so did you, with Cameroon's general struggles before the tournament, did you kind of see them having just a bit of a big flop?
Yeah, it was one where, they've obviously, as they showed, they've got the players, even within the squad they did pick, to clearly be good enough to get through that group. It was more a matter of, AFCON is one of those things where you kind of have to expect something's going to go, like, not everyone's going to go according to plan, you're going to get that unpredictability. and the absolute chaos around Cameroon made them seem like the #1 contenders for doing something stupid and losing all their games when they really shouldn't. But yeah, in the end, that squad, they've still got players like Baleba, they've got Mbermo, they've got a lot of talented players even within the squad they did have, even leaving out big names like Vincent Abubakar or Choupo-Moting and Onana in goal. Like there is just too much quality in that Cameroon team to really have screwed it up that badly in the end. And so yeah, they performed basically what you'd expect Cameroon with their player ability to perform at, in spite of the behind the scenes chaos, in spite of not knowing who the hell, not actually being sure who the manager was and what the squad was and who's in charge and all that. So yeah, it was. Yeah, they found a way around all the chaos. It's Gabon really is the one that I'm surprised about. Getting only getting just beat by 1 goal against Cameroon, but then losing to Mozambique as well, and then they lost every game by a goal. It's Gabon have got some actual talented players in there. Gabon have over recent years had beyond just Aubameyang, who's obviously the big name in that squad. They have got talented players. A lot of them playing in big European leagues. So for them to not even get a point, given that obviously when you've got Cote d'Ivoire and Cameroon in your group, it's going to be difficult. That's two much more established big African footballing nations. But when you're still expecting to let's say compete against them, they kind of did. They didn't get battered or anything. They only lost by a goal in each game. But then also losing to Mozambique is just you'd have expected more out of Gabon. Obviously Mozambique not some team that randomly got lucky and won it out of a raffle to get their place in the tournament. They've got good talented players in there as well, but not quite as well known potentially as a lot of Gabon's players. So yeah, it's one where I'm surprised to see Gabon get 0 points, especially.
Yes.
And you'd have expected them to beat Mozambique and even potentially properly challenge a Cameroon in a bit of chaos and potentially even Cote d'Ivoire. So yeah, it's one that when the chaos didn't quite happen in the way I thought it would, and one team obviously, Gabon seemed like they'd be best placed to take advantage of any potential Cameroon chaos. Instead, had that happened, you'd have probably expected Mozambique to get second place, but no, that's not how it ended up.
Yep, of course. Another thing to point out is that after Gabon finished bottom of their group, the entire national team got suspended and got banned. I don't know whether that's from football or from the entire country. But I remember seeing that and thinking, oh, surely Gabon did do that badly. Considering.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it to you. They basically suspended the entire team. Is it for a year? Yeah, they suspended the entire team and dissolved the coaching team.
Well, I guess it worked for Cameroon, so we also try and try a different team next time. Yeah, so moving on to the scores for this one. Eloise and Michael with the 2, and Zia and me with a 4-5-4.
I was so close to a perfect.
You were
so close to a perfect.
You were very
group
close
stage.
to perfect. Yes, unlucky. But anyway, moving on to the 3rd place finishers. I believe this is 2 points they go through in 3rd place, and 1 point if they just go through in general. There's a lot of names here. I think Eloise with Uganda, Angola, Zambia, and Cameroon. I think you would have only got 1 point from those. And then
yeah, it would have been Cameroon going through, but not in 3rd. I think is the only one.
Okay.
Yes.
I think all the rest finished. Like I said, I think 2 of them finished bottom of the group. I think Angola were 3rd place. Yeah, they were 3rd place, but missed out on going through on seemingly goals scored.
Yes. And I think for the rest of us, I think we've all got at least a couple of points in our 3rd places. So anyone got any justifications for why they say, Eloise, why did you pick Uganda to go through from 3rd place?
Vibes, I don't know. They seem like one of the better options. I think that was. I'm honestly just a bit annoyed that like Cameroon. It's because I thought they were gonna collapse. Uganda, I thought they'd do better, Angola did come third, not good enough. Zambia, once again, they definitely underperformed, but they were quite close in their games. So it's just got unfortunate.
Yes. I will say, just getting up the third place teams that did go through, it was Mozambique, Benin, Sudan, and Tanzania. None of which I think. Did any of us? I think Michael had Benin going through, and
Yeah, I
I
think
did in
yeah,
third.
So
a
did
couple
you.
of had Benin, yeah.
Yeah, but the rest of them, I don't think any of us predicted to go anywhere above last, to be honest. So, I mean, we can say we got one of them right at least, as a collective. Moving on to the scores for this. Z and me got 4 points from that. I think that was because of Benin and 2 people who went through first and second. Michael.
Z's was 4 teams that all went through, but none of them came third.
Oh, fantastic. Michael, you got 2 points for Benin and 1 for, I can't remember who went. South Africa. And Eloise, the single solitary point for, I believe, Cameroon.
It was
so.
Yeah, it was Cameroon.
Yes.
Yeah, this is how the downfall begins.
Yep. And will the downfall continue in the second round, where we have going through to the quarterfinals, Mali, Senegal, Egypt, Ivory Coast, Algeria, Nigeria, Cameroon, and Morocco. I guess you could say the kind of shock here was Cameroon beating Morocco based upon like the general troubles before the tournament started, and South Africa did go through relatively comfortably from their group, so you may have expected them to do a bit better in the round of 16. Other than that, it kind of went to form. I don't think any of the minnows really did particularly great. Tanzania only lost by 1 goal, which is unfortunate. So yeah, Michael, any thoughts on the second round results that you can see?
Yeah, like I said, I think it was the South Africa Cameroon one. You'd have maybe like that feels very much like it was a the battle between Cameroon team that's got a lot of good players, but it's a bit of a mess. Whereas South Africa is one that seems to be in recent years performing better than the sum of their parts. Where I think that's something that I underestimated a bit. Where I think we saw it in the group stage where a lot of us predicted Angola to go through. I think we saw a lot of the potentially bigger name players in that Angola squad, and one's playing European leagues and a bit less of that in the South Africa team. But I think South Africa, like I said, it's one that seems like that's a team at the moment. That's one that is, like I said, they're going to the World Cup. Last AFCON they got to, what was it, the semi-finals last time out. This time they just happened to get beat by Cameroon, who they've got a lot. Like I said, they've got a lot of talented players. It's one where you'd be expecting Cameroon to win that if they weren't such a mess. And obviously, it just seems like one where Cameroon have just about found a way to beat them, and just by having potentially that extra bit of quality in the team as opposed to South Africa. Sometimes in these knockout games, it isn't necessarily about which team is performing the best in the build up to it. It's occasionally in a tight game like that, it's about who just has that extra bit of quality in the team, who has that that one talented player who just finds a way to create something for them. And I think that's one that might have just gone against South Africa on this occasion.
So I will note for this one we were predicting the losers of the second round rather than the winners, I believe. So that would imply that I think most of us got Mali correct. For example, a couple of us got Burkina Faso going out. I think it's quite a mixed bag because I think a few of us predicted people to go through who just didn't go through in the end. So there's kind of a knock-on effect from that. Although, if we look at the scores, I think someone has completely fucking destroyed us here. Because, well, 2 people destroyed us here. Z has got 15 points, which I believe that I don't think that's not perfect, is it?
No, it's 3 points for each one you get right at this point. So that means Z's got 5 of the 8 right.
Yeah. Okay, so you got 5 out of the 8 right. You got half right, so 4 out of the 8. I got 3 right. And Eloise, you only got 1 right, which I believe
Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso, yes. Why did I say Mali went out? They went through. What am I about?
Yeah, I was confused. Like, was my points done wrong? No, it's
No.
because the Mali did go through
Yes.
on penalties over Tunisia.
Yes, I did also initially think, oh, we're predicting second round winners, but no, we're predicting the losers. This is very much how
Yes.
long ago we did these predictions. I've forgotten what we actually predicted. Okay, moving on to probably the more meaty part of the tournament, the quarterfinals. So the losers in that one, we had Mali losing 1-0 to Senegal, Ivory Coast losing 3-2 to Egypt, Algeria losing 2-0 to Nigeria in what is quite a heavyweight clash, and Cameroon sadly losing 2-0 to Morocco. Eloise, any thoughts on any of the quarterfinal results?
No, I'm quite mad at them. I mean, Senegal expected. I suppose if you would have put Egypt, Ivory Coast, yeah, you'd expect Egypt to win. Nigeria, I was expecting them to fall at some point. I was expecting Algeria to fall at the round 16th, so I don't bloody know how I would have predicted this. And then, yeah, I'm annoyed Cameroon made it this far, but yeah, Morocco winning is fine for me. So yeah, no huge shocks. It's just kind of what you'd expect, really.
Yes, and looking at the people who we predicted to go through, I don't think I did particularly well. Neither did Eloise. Looking at it, did you get any right? I'm not sure
Nope.
you did. I think I may have got. Who did I get right? I got Ivory Coast going out right. I think. So for this one, it was 5 points per team you get correctly going out of the tournament. So let's see how that changes the scores. So Z once again doing the best out of all of us with 10. Eloise, as mentioned, no one right with 0, and me, Michael, got 1 right, so we got 5. But, on to the semi-finals. We have Egypt losing 1-0 to Senegal, and Nigeria losing to Morocco on penalties after a 0-0 draw. Michael, seeing as I believe you got one of them right, none of them right, but both of them went through, what are your thoughts on the semi-finals?
They're completely bloody backwards. What's going on here? Like this is one where I'm starting to look at this and already hating Z over this stupid point system because legitimately, I think I've got 6 out of the 8 quarterfinalists right, 3 of the 4 semi-finalists, and then just because I've got them wrong, like I'm getting no points for any of the credit for this because I'm getting them going out at the wrong step, like one stage too early or one stage too late. It's yeah. So at this point, I'm basically playing like I was looking at this going. Oh, I'm not, I remember looking at this going. I've got 6 out of 8 quarterfinals. This is going all right. And then it's like the only one I got screwed over on was Egypt beating Ivory Coast. Which had that gone the other way, I'd have had all 4 semi-finalists spot on. I got basically one of them wrong, and then both semi-finals went completely wrong, and now I get nothing for that. So it was a complete, like, literally, if those 2 semi-finals just go the other way around, I'm getting so many points. But instead, I'm getting literally 0. So I can't wait for Z's nonsense to somehow make him win. That was my entire realization at this point is, oh, Z has crafted a way in which he can, predict a bunch of nonsense and still somehow find a way to win.
Yep.
He's rigged it.
Yes.
He's rigged it.
Yes, it's some good news at least. None of us got any of the semi-final losers right. So we all get a big fat 0 for this one. We are good at predicting things. I suppose we're called bad psychics for a reason. Moving on to the final, which ended up being between Senegal and Morocco. There was a third place playoff. We don't care about that. This is perhaps probably the most eventful game of the entire tournament. But I'll run through our predictions. Z had Morocco winning and Egypt losing. Eloise had Senegal finishing run-up and Morocco winning. I had Nigeria winning and Cameroon losing, so I was just back to it entirely. And so you Michael, who had Nigeria winning and Ivory Coast losing. And the final result was Senegal winning 1-0 after extra time against Morocco. Which means, unfortunately for Eloise, the the teams were right, they were just the wrong way round.
And for that, you get 0 points.
Yes.
It's ridiculous. I should get
I
points
love
for
this
that.
point system now. I love this point system. It
I
was
should get
great. I
points.
never complain. Great point system, Z.
I got the final. Like, I got the 2 teams in the final. I was the only one who got them right, and I don't get rewarded for it.
Yeah, imagine that Brian Diaz just kick the ball like a normal person.
I hate him so much. Like, he's just public
Yeah.
enemy number 1.
Yeah, well, speaking of public enemy number 1, the entirety of Senegal became public enemy number 1 in Morocco after that final. After I don't know, they walked off. I don't know how justifiable it was. I do remember seeing that people were saying the referees were not exactly on a level playing field. Let's just say that. I'm presuming it's just, I'm presuming it's just usual sort of host sort of nudge, please let us win. Yes, they walked off the field for I think it was 17 minutes when the Brahim Diaz penalty got awarded the end of extra time. And I believe I can't remember exactly what the punishment was, but I believe the coach is suspended for a year, or something like that. And presumably everyone's got fined because that's the only punishment people can do nowadays. Yeah, so Michael, we already heard Eloise thoughts on Brahim Diaz destroying her with facts and logic. What are your thoughts on the final?
When it gets overshadowed by chaos like that, it's hard to actually, say anything great about it. And especially when it's, it's a 0-0 after 90 minutes and then still 0-0 after like 300 minutes and then the penalty's finally taken and then it's extra time. Yeah, it's, an event like that's always going to overshadow the game. It already would have done with the, controversy around refereeing decisions, but then, yeah, it's hard to really say much about it beyond the chaos, really, because that's, like I said, just refereeing decisions being controversial like that in a final are going to overshadow the whole thing anyway, let alone, a team literally walking off the pitch because of it. It's, it does sort of put a bit of a sour note on the entire tournament, really, when that's how it ends.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And it's probably knocked off Morocco hosting anything for a little bit, I think. Just based upon that, so it's kind of messed up.
I mean, they're co-hosting the World Cup, aren't they? In what 2030?
Are they still doing that? Okay, I thought
I'm pretty sure
they'd been removed from that, or did I just hear someone yapping on Twitter? That's probably.
I have not seen anything suggesting that Morocco are still listed as a host country, like one of technically 6 host countries because of how weird it is. But there's apparently 6 different host cities within Morocco. There's only actually 2 in Portugal, weirdly enough. I'd have thought of the 3 countries you've got less in Morocco, but no, it's actually less in Portugal. It's a lot more Spain and Morocco. Yes. To be fair, it does involve there being 19 different host cities across the entire tournament, including 3 in a completely different continent on the other side of the world. So,
FIFA.
Good job, FIFA. Well done. Definitely not rigging it so it had to go to Saudi Arabia in the next one.
Yes. Fantastic. Let's see what that impact that had on the scores. And it had no impact because everyone got everything wrong in that final.
Yeah, Eloise got it all wrong.
Yes, Eloise got it all wrong despite having the 2 correct teams in the final. Good point system. So with that leaves us with the totals for the groups. Z leads away on 45. Michael following up, not too far behind, 40 points. I'm on 38, and Eloise is perhaps not very justifiably last, to be honest, with 26.
I said Z's gonna win.
Yes.
Z has found a way to rig the point system so he wins.
I'm gonna have a nice little word with Z later. Yes. It will be a nice, pleasant conversation.
From Z after you have the conversation. I know I'm gonna get a message from Z. I'm gonna this is the thing. I'm the one who will get the bollocking back from Z about it.
Yeah, of course.
He will send me like a blooming essay justifying the point system.
And we're looking forward, it, don't we? Well,
No, not right now. Not in this moment. No.
Anyway, right. So moving on from the controversy, time to move on to the miscellaneous numbers section. Woo! So we are now moving on to the miscellaneous section of numbers and doom. So as per usual, we have a load of numbers, and we had put a load of players or teams to do things, and we have a bonus predictions at the end as well that we need to put points. So starting off with the total goals. I believe Eloise went the highest with 115, and then again, Michael had 114 and I had 112, so we all kind of clustered around the same sort of area. And Z went for very low 106, which I think would have averaged out about less than 2 goals a game, which was a bit of a low ball there. Turns out we were all a bit wrong, at least, because the total amount of goals in the tournament was 121. I believe that was helped by, I think there was a couple of 3-2s knocking around, and a couple of reasonably high thrashings, like Nigeria beating Mozambique in the round of 16. There's a couple of 3-0s in the Group D. Yeah, it wasn't too bad compared to some other AFCONs that, as he pointed out in the predictions episode, have been quite low scoring. So that means points-wise, Z gets a big fat 0 because he was the furthest away. Eloise gets a full 5 because she was the closest. I get 1 for being third place, and Michael gets 3 for being second place. This is how it's all going to work for all of these numeric predictions. Except for 10 points if you're within 1% of the actual number. I don't think that happened anywhere, but I'll see on that. The next number thing was the average attendance. So again, I think there was a couple of... Me and Z were the relatively low outliers here. I got 28,438. Z was 31,013. Eloise 38k. Michael's 42k. The actual average attendance was, I believe it was 25,770. I think my rationale for going so low was that there was, in other AFCON tournaments, there was some like double headers at the grounds during the group stages, which inflated the attendances for the first games where the main team wasn't involved. This didn't happen here, and we had some like 4,000, 5,000, like 7,000 attendances in the group stages for sort of North African teams to get involved. So yeah, ended up being quite a low average in the end. Eloise, Michael, seeing as you predicted the highest number, do you kind of think you should could maybe gone a bit lower, or take into account?
I could have googled what the answer would have been last time. I think would have been what I would have done better this time. I literally looked at the capacities of the stadiums, rounded down a bit, and went, "I like the number 42. That'll do." Was basically I think what I landed on.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Honestly,
I mean, come on, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy told me 42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything.
Oh,
that counts under the and everything. What's going on here, guys?
Yes. However, this was not under the and everything this time around. So, Michael gets a big fat 0. I get 5 for being the closest. C gets 3, and Eloise gets a solitary point this time around. Next number, the number of games that went to extra time. I believe I believe, Michael, you had a thing with this, thinking that this was just going to extra time.
Yeah, no penalties.
No penalties.
Yeah.
So
I misunderstood it and then went, "Fuck it, I'm sticking with my answer,"
yes.
because I'm not Z and I don't sit around and go, "I want to change my answer now." No, not how it works, mate.
Yes. Whereas me, Eloise, and Z all went for 6, because I think that's been the answer for like every single AFCON tournament for the last like 3 or 4 editions. And it was the same answer again. It was 6 games going to extra time. With I believe there was 3 in the round of 16, 1 in obviously the semi-final, the final, and the third place playoff also went to extra time.
Double. It's the work of the devil.
It sure is.
666.
3.
We ignored that.
Yeah. We'll ignore that. Moving on to the scores for this one. As you can see, because me, Eloise, and Z got it right, we all get 5 points, and Michael gets a big fat 0 for not predicting it correctly. So moving on to penalties. I went highest with 5 because I think that's what happened last AFCON. In terms of the penalties, Z and Eloise went for 4, and Michael went for 3. And the actual answer to this one was 3 games going to penalties. I believe it was the 1 game in the round 16, Mali, Tunisia, 1 game in the semi-final, Nigeria, Morocco, and third place playoff all went to penalties. So, if Michael had actually entered his results correctly, he would have got perfect for both of these, but
it's not entering the results correctly, it's understanding what the question was asking. I put the number I was meaning to put in, I just didn't understand what the question was asking. So again, this is Z wording things too ambiguously, it's all Z's fault.
Yes. If in doubt, blame Z. So, moving on to the scores for this one, as Michael got it exactly correct, he gets 5, and everyone else gets a big fat 0. Jumping back to our predictions, and finally we're done with numbers, which Z obviously had a problem with. So moving on to our top score predictions. So Z had En-Nesyri, Eloise had El Kabi, I had Osman, and Michael had Sebastian Halle. We are all wrong on this one. It was Brahim Diaz, everyone's favourite miss penalty man, who I think, as Eloise said in the sort of interlude we had a photo taken with the AFCON president after the final, where he looked absolutely devastated. Which must have been at least somewhat cathartic for you.
It was funny.
Yes, it was funny. So, obviously, as we all got that wrong, the scores are gonna be a big fat 0 for all of us. Yay! No points.
Yeah. So I did have a quick look to see who was closest to getting it right out of all of us, and Osman got 4, which is 1 less than Diaz. I think
Yes.
El Kabi got 3, and from what I can see, En-Nesyri and Halle didn't score. So means they were a bit out on that one.
Maybe, mayhaps. Going on to the best player. So we went for me and Michael went for Ademola Lookman, Eloise for Pape Matar Sarr, and Z went for Mo Salah, hoping Egypt would do well. Once again, we were all completely wrong, as it was Sadio Mane, a best player in the world, as the meme from like 5 or more years ago now states. Eloise, did you any particular thoughts on why Sadio Mane may have got the award?
He is the best player in the world.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, winning team. Obviously their best player. I think, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. I just got the wrong player from Senegal.
Yes.
Which is really annoying.
Yes, that's unfortunate. I think from memory, I don't think did what did you predict to win, Michael? AFCON in this one.
I predicted Nigeria.
Okay. Did we all pick? I think Z picked someone from a team who didn't win, but we all did.
I think Z had Egypt as runners up.
Yeah.
Picked Salah.
And from memory, Z's justification was the best player generally doesn't come from the winning team in these tournaments, but this time he did.
My prediction was the runner-up, and also I just remembered I don't think Pape Matar Sarr played a minute. He didn't play a minute for Senegal. So yeah.
Well, fortunately we don't get negative points out for that. but because we all got it wrong again, we all get 0. Yay. Moving on to the best young player. I'm gonna be frank with you. That just didn't get awarded this time. So we all got 0. Yeah. There's no particular reason why it didn't get awarded, from what I can see. It was just not awarded. It was awarded for the last few, which is why Z put it in here. But no, just there was no good young players apparently this time around. I'll go to you, Michael. Did you think anyone particularly deserved the award if they gave it out?
Definitely Mamadou Doumbia. I think we should just all agree Mamadou Doumbia won it, and we award our own best young player and give it to Mamadou Doumbia. I have no idea how he actually did, or whether he played, or anything like that. But still, I think we should just all agree Mamadou Doumbia was the best young player at AFCON, and I get the points.
Okay. I'm guessing, Eloise, you want Noah Siddiqui to be the best young player at AFCON to get you the points.
Yeah, but I think, just vaguely looking, maybe it was Mbaye. I don't know. Mbaye would have probably been the closest to it, but
yeah. Anyway, 0 points again. Yay! Run a free prediction streak of no one getting it right.
I don't think I can win this episode.
We'll see how it goes with the final few.
Bleak.
The best goalkeeper award. We all went for Yassine Bono, and we all got it right. Surprisingly, yes. Yeah, it was Yassine Bono, because I think we all said that was the African goalkeeper we thought was good.
Yes, the only goalkeeper in Africa.
Yes, and he sure was good, because he did win the award. So,
wow,
that means we all get Big 10, my entire Dillinger. Then the final random person that we have to pick is the final referee, a classic of the Bad Psychics genre, where we just pick a random referee who might get in, and we see if it's correct. So Z went for Peter Wayeru. Eloise went for is it Wayeru?
Wayeru,
I think. Eloise went for Omar, because that's quite easy to say. I went for Omar Abdul Khair Avian. Z's better at these pronunciations than I am. I am very much not Z. I think I picked mine because he was Somalian, and it'd be quite funny to see a Somalian referee a final. And it turns out he's actually a good referee. And Michael went for Shamira Nabada.
Shamira Nabada, the Ugandan woman referee who I got to change my answer to during the episode for the fun of it.
Yes, I vaguely remember that. Anyway, you guys, we were all wrong once again, because the actual final referee was the Dr. Congo man, Jean-Jacques Ndala. I haven't exactly seen why he was appointed the final referee, other than I guess he wasn't a person from any of the finals, from any of the finalists. He did seem to. He was picked for the Club World Cup in the United States, so I guess he's relatively high on the internal list in Africa for referees. So there we go. That is indeed a referee of all time. Do you think you'll ever be invited back to do an AFCON final?
Yeah, probably. No, in Africa, not African refereeing decisions. Yeah, probably. Should he is a different question. Yes. Will he? Yeah, they'll probably send him to the World Cup later this year. It'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be suspended. It'll be suspended for a year, and then he'll at the World Cup he'll do, like, I don't know, a couple group stage games as punishment, and
then he'll just be back to normal.
Yeah.
Classic. Anyway, so that means we will once again score a big fat 0, which only leaves, after a relatively low scoring miscellaneous section, our bonus questions or bonus predictions. So we'll start with Z's first, because he's not here. Z's was South Africa will lose a game with a Ghanaian or Senegalese referee. I haven't verified this, but Z said this didn't happen.
I did check this as well at one point because I was curious, and it didn't happen.
Yes.
I think South Africa only lost 2 games, didn't they? There was one in the group.
Yes.
Where, when they lost to Egypt, the referee was from Burundi.
Yes, with a great name.
And
what was it? Pacifique. I don't want to pronounce the last name.
Yeah, no, not trying.
What is this?
And then in the round of 16, where they lost to Cameroon, it was Peter Waweru from Kenya. Was the referee for that one.
Yes, it was Z's prediction to referee the final. So he at least got the referee right in one of his predictions. But yeah, so that means he got his bonus prediction wrong. Eloise went for 10 or more games will end at 0-0 in 90 minutes, which I believe happened 6 times across the entire tournament. So unfortunately, that is also an incorrect bonus prediction.
Wow.
Were you expecting a bit more of a low scoring efforts from some of these teams?
Well, apparently not. If I put the goals as the highest, I think we mentioned how it was a bit contradictory in the episode, but yeah, I don't know. It is my usual not very good at bonus questions, so I just try to, try to figure out if it's going to be boring or not, and it always doesn't work for me.
My prediction was a PL player Premier League player gets a long-term injury. I'm pretty sure this didn't happen. I have not heard anything, and I think I did a quick cursory glance, and I don't think anyone really got injured that much. So yeah, I got my bonus prediction wrong as well. And Michael's bonus prediction was at least 3 or 4 teams made it to the last 8, and I believe there was absolutely none of them this time.
Yeah, it was weirdly predictable. It was all the big teams did all right. Well, that's not how AFCON's supposed to work. What's going on?
Nope. Yeah, it was quite a non-AFCON-y AFCON in a sense. It took the final way,
and then the final happened.
Yeah,
it saved it all up for the final. All of the chaos was building up and building up. Nothing weird was happening. All normal results, and then all of a sudden, it's the final has to just have all of the chaos in one go. Yep. Because this is AFCON, and that's how it works.
Indeed.
I might have just glanced at numbers and found it really funny.
Yeah, so if you remember from our predictions episode, we kind of went a bit mental with the actual bonus points, which I think drove Z so insane he decided to decided to switch over to another way of doing the bonus points. And the specified since only whole numbers.
We broke the system. We completely just got.
Yes. So Z's points would be he'd gain 4 and lose pi. That's the same for Eloise.
Yep.
Michael would gain 7 and lose 2 E points. Whereas I would gain 5 root 2 points and lose 4 root 3 points. I'm going to be frank. When I wrote in the actual scores for this, I could not be asked writing the square root symbol, so I rounded everything to 3 decimal places. Hopefully, I got the rounding right. That look a bit bad if I didn't, seeing as I'm a maths person.
You didn't. Not on the pi.
Oh God! Did it put it as 3.141 instead of 142?
Yep.
Right. Okay. Right.
Give me my point. 0.001.
No, you're losing an extra 0.001.
Remove a 0. Sorry. Okay. Yes.
Right. That's to make all the difference.
Yeah, it has officially been corrected with it is, and the scores are so Z and Eloise lose minus 3.142. I lose minus 7.071. And Michael loses minus 5.437. which means for
Wow.
the miscellaneous total, we have Eloise won the miscellaneous section with
Let's go!
17.858.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does not matter. Z finished second with 14.858. I was third with 13.929, which I think means, I think if I got that right, I would have won it quite handily. And Michael was last in this section with 12.563. Adding on to the group totals, which I will display on the screen now, gives us our final scores of. So, unfortunately, Z has won. Z has scammed us all again and managed to win his own thing.
Rigged.
Yes, his final total was 59.858. Michael finished second, 52.563. I was third, 51.929, which I think means this is the closest amount of points between two positions in Bad Psychics history, because that's like 0.56, I think, or no, maybe I'm not
Stupid. It's so stupid.
It's about points. It's about 0.6 something.
0.6 something. Yeah,
So
that'll do.
stupid.
0.634, I think, is the total difference between me and Michael. And Eloise.
Nothing.
Yes.
Nothing happened.
Yeah,
no one else. No more points.
Yes.
No one else finished anywhere.
Yes. No one else finished anywhere. Which means Eloise, unfortunately, is lost.
First, last place.
Congrats to Z, I guess.
Z's not here to.
No,
to defend
I'm cynical in
himself.
this.
I'm gonna. I do like you just can't be asked to get out of the chair there, Louise.
No, I can't be asked. I need to take my headset off and everything, and my blanket, and I can't be asked.
Yes. Z has won another one. I presume this is like his 7 millionth in a row.
Yes.
Yes, and I didn't finish last, which is I'm at least happy about. So that concludes our AFCON episode. Say goodbye to the previous system of doing. No, it isn't, is it? Because we've got loads of long-term ones that have that use this one. But say goodbye to it for a little bit at least until the various seasons end. But yeah. So thank you, Michael and Eloise, for joining me on this not particularly good review podcast. And I guess I'll sign out. Remember, be big mystics, not big mistakes.
Yes.
I think I got that right.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's the first time I've ever got that right first try. Let's go. Anyway, bye.